All right, we're headed up live now. So what's up, everybody? We're going to be doing today exactly how you see the caption. I'm going to be practicing being a jiu-jitsu commentator. Now, I want to go in a little bit as to why I'm actually doing this, why I'm going to stream it, and the reality is this is just something that I've always wanted to do. I've been watching a lot of jiu-jitsu matches, more so recently, and I've paid attention to the commentators. And I definitely see the sport of jiu-jitsu growing at a very rapid pace, where in a few years, more people are going to be watching and engaging with jiu-jitsu more than ever before, especially in terms of no-gi grappling and all grappling. And I think tournaments in general are going to get more views and stuff, but right now it's kind of in like this middle, it's just starting to come up over the past couple of years. I think versus like a few years ago, really not a lot of people knew about it at all. And it's amazing how much has changed in jiu-jitsu in just over the past 4 years with, the Henzo Gracie, leg lockers, and just different type of styles as far as rule settings go and intention in training, kind of went from like the self-defense aspect to technical winning and competition. So you can see there's all these different trends, there's different niches coming out in jiu-jitsu, and in particular, the competitive scene, I believe, is something that is on the slow rise, and within probably the next 5 to 10 years is going to be something that is a lot more popular. Now, whether that starts streaming on TV, who knows? But the one downside that I'm starting to see in the growth of jiu-jitsu competition happens to be commentators, right? So commentators, when I am watching these matches, there are some that are good, like Polaris has very engaging commentary, but most of them, it just seems like it's people that don't actually train jiu-jitsu and they don't actually compete. And they're like, whoa, look at that takedown. Like, and I guess they're trying to like dumb it down, but I think that the reality is that more people who watch matches are more of like jujitsu nerds, people that are interested in the aspect of grappling and the technicalities that go into it, versus people that like, for instance, you have so many people that watch the NFL and they watch football, but some of them never even played football in their life, or maybe just for a small period of time they get engaged in football. It's a different type of sport in jiu-jitsu because there's some average people that will look at jiu-jitsu and be like, yo, what is that? Just like a bunch of gay people wrestling with each other. Like that's the regular person, what they could potentially think. Or, you just have some people that just are like, okay, that's a cool sport. I'm not really interested in it. And that's totally fine too. But I think the big thing with jujitsu is a lot of people are more interested in what's happening in live time. And I think that's where like breakdowns became so popular. Breakdowns of matches sometimes have more views than the matches itself because it allows you to take time and dive in and repeat the moves that have happened and engaged in a way where it's broken down so that way you're able to replicate that technique. If the commentator kind of goes about that while the match plays, it's going to actually be a lot more of an engaging sport, right? Because the person is just like, whoa, oh my God. Like the commentator should actually be kind of describing what's happening as it happens so that way people can learn with it and also kind of see like, yeah, they got that like sick back step that just happened. Like, and it's this moment that everybody can share, rather like, oh, they got into the legs. Like, no, I kind of describe what happened as it goes. Now, obviously, there are some matches that are incredibly intense and it's impossible to talk about every little nuance, but these big things that happen, they can definitely be brushed upon so that way we can watch and look and see, okay, these moves are effective at, let's say, a high level. We're looking at like high level so without further ado, let me dive into the first match that I'm going to watch, and then I'm going to commentate and I'm going to practice. So I've only commentated practiced over one other match. So I'm not promising that this is going to be good, but I do see where there could be weak points. And if you're interested in having a more engaging type of commentary, then we'll get into exactly that. So I'm going to bring up the screen here. I'm going to start to record and let's see. I want to make sure that I am sharing my screen with you guys. Okay, so this is Ethan Crelinsten versus John Blank, right? So Ethan Crelinsten is not somebody that I've recently studied, but I have studied a lot of the other Renzo Gracie guys, Gordon Ryan, Gary Tonin, Nicky Ryan, Nick Rodriguez. Those people I've definitely watched, and of course, I've trained with and been coached by Robert Eagle for nearly 2 years, and I'm very familiar with the Renzo Down Here Death Squad members, and Ethan Crelinsten is one of them, which is why I chose this match. And then there's John Thor, who I've seen. I don't know too much about him in particular, but I have seen him go against a lot of people. So here we go. Here we have Ethan on the right, John Blank on the left, and Ethan right away pulls guard. And that's something that's very interesting about these type of matches, is that in some point settings like ADCC, that would not be able to happen, and you would have to train entirely different. Now, John Blank's doing a good job here trying to pass, but he decided to just fall back for the legs, which I can't really blame him for. So they're in this X guard, the Achilles lock. Ethan's definitely very comfortable here as he goes with all those leg lockers. Now, John's going for a good heel hook there, but Ethan knows too much. He was turning his heel in and at the same time stripping the Ashigurami foot, which was able to then have him turn out. So I like the way that Ethan rolls here. He's kind of like letting himself step in, and he's looking to pummel his foot past John Blank's foot. So now we're kind of in this quarter guard, and he ended up doing a little back kick in order to try to go to knee on belly, but it's very hard to maintain that position. So Ethan kind of lets him get entangled into like this X guard because he's very comfortable. He knows how to pummel. Now, John Blank did a great job getting into inside Tenkaku there. That was a really good roll, and he's really fishing for that heel. But again, Ethan's very comfortable. He's able to hide his heel really well, and he starts to work on freeing his knee line. So Jonathan's going for the heel. He's hiding it, and now they are back to neutral. So there's a nice little leg lock battle. You can really learn a lot about defense in the leg locks when you watch that type of attack. Obviously, being from 10th Planet, John Blank is probably familiar with leg locks himself. So that was a really nice pass there. He was floating on his hook. He ended up doing a little like hip switch type of motion in order to kind of pass him out. So now he's looking for a Kimura grip on the arm, winds up losing position, and now they're back to this neutral. And now he's talking to the outside guy. I don't know what it is. Back into an inside Tenkaku. But look, you can see like if you're not entangling the second leg, it's really hard to finish and catch the heel. The person has to not know what they're talking, or not know what they're doing, in my opinion. So now they're both pulling guard here. They're looking to kind of do a little leg lock battle. Even kind of standing up. I think one of them want to stand up. I know one of them wants to stand up because that's what's fun about this. Okay, so now we have a good, nice little bout here. Ethan kind of giving a little check sweep to Mr. Blank. You could see with Ethan too, he's looking for upper body attacks at the same time, falling back for the heel hook, very nice. But you could see how Ethan used his other foot to push the elbow of John Blank, so that way he is not able to get caught in the heel. So now he's triangling his legs. John doing a really good job freeing it. If he could potentially get this heel hook, but Ethan looks very calm from this position. He's actually looking to take the back. See, that's the thing about leg locks too that people don't understand. It leaves a lot of openings to get to the back if you know what you're doing, which is what Ethan's doing. So now he's doing that Donahere straight jacket system, bringing his foot over, but he's got to get that hand a little bit lower. You can see how he's constantly trying to fight for the neck. He's trying to keep his underhook, but it's hard to finish when they have their arms up to defend, especially if they're really like pulling and 2-on-1 in that arm. So now John is looking to get out, but you can see how Ethan kind of pulls him and brings his arm underneath to regain back control, to keep that underhook. Okay, so now he's now he trapped the arm. But you can see in that arm trapping sequence, there you go. He has to bring his foot down towards the mat, but now he's kind of going more into like a reverse triangle. Right, because that's sometimes the tough part with the hand fighting is, okay, so now he's in reverse triangle, best position in the entire world of jiu-jitsu. He's looking to go for the straight arm lock because it is pretty hard to strangle, but at this point, John Blank is holding on for dear life with his two hands. As long as Ethan doesn't gas out, he's got that arm bar. He's looking to turn, but it's so hard to turn. He's looking to kind of turn it into like an Americana type of deal. He's hiding it really well. And that was it, because he turned with, you see John Blank, he tried to turn, but Ethan was able to maintain that rotation with him the entire time. So that was a nice match. See, Ethan's chilling, John Blank's definitely tired, and overall it was a good match to watch. So, yep, that is the first commentary. Let me know what you guys think. That was Ethan Crelinsten versus John Blank. Commentary number one. If it gets requested more, I'll do more, but I'm probably going to just be doing these periodically anyway in order to get practice. And then hopefully I actually can do some commentaries on actual matches. Get off Facebook here. Maybe one day I will actually go on to some sort of like super fight or something to commentate. Yo, what up, Max? What's good, my dude? Hope you enjoyed the show. Max was actually there for the first commentary that I did. And everyone was like, oh, you want to do commentary? Come over and do commentary. And then I was like, oh, shit. And then I did it. And then, yeah, it didn't turn out too bad. So I want to keep doing this. I think it actually helps me. It's kind of like I'm taking you guys along with me while I study the matches. So, yeah, hopefully it's helpful. And, yeah, let me know if you want me to commentate a particular match. And I'll see you guys next time.